Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Arma. It's a 148 scale aircraft kit, and of course here we get the Hurricane Mk.IIb, so it's a tropical version, so-called Trop, and as you can see, that's the version with the plastic kit, decals and masks, so there are no PE parts as far as you can see. Nevertheless, it will be quite an interesting thing to work on. And I reviewed the previous version, so this time we are going to talk about this particular type of the aircraft. As you can see, the kit number is 40008, and the box size, I would say it's standard for this type of release from Arma. Here you can see comparison with my hand. We have quite nice box art here, and on the side you can see also some information about the kit, so pretty much the same as what I said before. On the opposite side you will find some safety information and address of the manufacturer, while here on the rear side we can see 3 marking options which are included, and they are quite different, so it will be I would say an interesting thing to replicate either this or this or this. So the box is side opening, so just give me a second to slide out this side flap. And also inside we get this cardboard tray which actually protects everything inside, and I would say this is quite smart design because it actually gives us the necessary sturdiness, but then the box itself is not that heavy. So all parts are packed into this resealable plastic bag, and I'm going to open it right now so that we can check everything together and see what is actually supplied here. So first of all, we are going to start with the sprue E. Here we have the wing parts, and let's zoom in a bit. So for the wing parts, as you can see, we have pretty much the same parts design as in the previous versions, obviously. So we have the flaps, ailerons pre-molded, we have one bottom part and one top part. We also have here the landing gear covers, and also some minor parts here and there. These are mainly machine gun barrels. In terms of the external features, so if I zoom in, you can see we have really nice rivets and the panel lines, so I think for 148 scale it looks really gorgeous. So it's just a matter of not losing them under a thick layer of paint and primer. Here inside you'll also find this sturdiness elements, let's say, as well as here on the bottom part. And I would say this is rather smart design, but it looks quite unusual, so that's why do not be surprised by this. It is normal for Arma hobby sets. Next we continue with the Ziploc bag which is dedicated to the clear part, so I will just open it and show you what we have here. So here is the clear sprue, and as you can see it is dedicated to the canopy parts. So molding quality looks fine, and as you remember I mentioned that we have the masks included here, so at least this thing will be covered out of the box, literally or maybe verbally, but it's really useful. I would say that they add the masks in the standard package because the Hurricane canopy is not that easy to mask thanks to the framing on the canopy, of course. So here we continue with the second gray plastic sprue, and you can see it's more of a mix of the parts because here you can even find the lower section of the tail of the fuselage. We also continue with the tail wings here. This is the tail fin. Here we have landing gear wheels. Those are cockpit walls. Those are landing gear legs. Also some parts for the main landing gear wheel wells, and here as well. Here you can see also the elevators. So everything looks rather nice, and I think it's worth zooming in a bit so that you can see what is actually pre-molded here. I would say that the quality is really great here, so I don't have any complaints. I have some experience with 1/72 scale kits from Arma Hobby, and I have to say that all of this stuff goes together without any extra issues. So this is really great, but at the same time you have to pay attention on how to paint all of these things. And here you can check everything from the other side. Okay, next we have another plastic sprue. This is the third one and the last one. So here we have the fuselage halves. As I said before, the tail fin is molded separately. Here you can see another lower fuselage section, but this one will not be used because this one is not for the tropical version as far as I remember, but we will have to check the assembly manual. Also note the fuselage halves are molded together with the cowling panels, so the top cover, and this is not something what I am usually happy to see because you have to carefully join those halves together in order to avoid any unnecessary problems with the parts or sections which are connecting together, so that's why pay attention. But overall, I think these external things which we have pre-molded out of the box, they look really great. And as you can see, this air intake frontal section is also molded as a single piece part. If I flip it over here, we do not have that many features, I mean in the fuselage halves. Why? Because the cockpit walls, as you remember, were molded separately. So in case you wonder how they will be replicated with help of the separate parts. And in case this is not enough for you, you can also get some aftermarket PE, but as you can see, this kit does not include it. But what it does include is the masks. So these are pre-cut masks, and camera will be struggling now to focus because it's more of the yellow paper kabuki tape. But as you can see, we have the canopy masks here and also landing gear masks here. So this is a really cool thing because landing gear wheels are molded as a single piece parts, and now you get the pre-cut masks which can be basically used straight away. And next we have the decals from TechMod. So here I think I should zoom out and maybe even close the lenses a bit. So printing quality is really good. We also get some cockpit decals, so that's why I'm saying even though we do not have the PE parts here, these decals will actually give you a really nice finish. And in my opinion, this is more than enough in this scale, especially if you plan to have the closed canopy. But if you plan to open it, then maybe it's worth thinking about getting the PE parts because, well, it will be a noticeable upgrade. And last but not the least is the assembly manual. So here I am closing lenses even more so that you won't be blinded by this white color. But here we have the large color printed brochure, we have the parts map, we have also the paints chart, and then the assembly process starts. So it starts with the main wheel wells. As you can see, we have here also some modifications for the auxiliary, the few tanks, in case you would like to install them. And there are a lot of features actually going on in the main wheel wells area, so decide whether you would like to copy them. And I mean, you have to install all of these parts, but maybe it's also worth replicating the wiring there. Also here we continue with the pilot seat, then we continue with the wing assembly. And if you wonder why the pilot seat gets assembled in between the wing, so that's because we have the cockpit installed on top of the wing, and as you can see, the cockpit walls are going there. This is quite a typical parts division for the Hurricane, so do not be surprised, or it's not something unusual. Here we continue with the air intake, landing gear wheels, landing gear legs getting installed together with the landing gear wheels, and maybe wheels can be also another upgrade which I can recommend in case you would like to have a bit more realistic appearance. Then there are some resin and 3D printed alternatives available. We continue with the canopy. Of course, you can assemble the open option as well. Also, there are several types of the propeller. Here you can see two marking options. So this one is from 1942 and this one as well. And here is another aircraft from 1941. Overall, I think it's a really great release in a 1/48 scale, and it should be already available. You can get it together with some other releases from Arma Hobby on their official website. And of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion. So if you have something to say, write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.